Hello, welcome aboard. Nigel with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and yes, it's another review, and I promise this will be the last review, I think, for at least a week or so. I know a lot of you like reviews and a lot of you don't, but I am doing some work in the background. There are some videos on the way, so don't worry, it is not just going to be Nigel's review channel. So, this one came along at the same time as the Artemis, so I just put them in the same basket and paid the postage once and sort of held off reviewing this for a couple of days. Today is Monday, Monday the 15th, I believe, of September 2025, and I've been running around like a blue ass fly this morning. So anyway, this is a brand new release from Airfix. It's the 1/72 scale Westland Wessex HC.2, and I'm led to believe it is absolutely awesome. I was on a little private stream with Moss last night, and he said open it up and have a look, and I did, and I haven't opened the bag, so I haven't closely looked at the parts, but I cannot believe the surface detail. It is beautiful. So basically, it's a 1/72 scale kit. It's A04068. Moss is actually building this. I'm not sure if he's videoing it or what, but he is actually building it. He's got all the fuselage together. So anyway, so on the side here, as usual with Airfix, we've got the you know, the not suitable for babies and things like that, the usual cartograph sign. This box came with this rip in it. They must have caught something as they were packing it. And then here we've got where is it where they say about the tooling? Here you go. Model Design and Tooling 2025, Decal Schemes and Pack Design 2025. This is something that Airfix does that I really, really like, and I wish everyone would do it. They're basically telling you when the kit was tooled. So rather than sticking some old junk in a box and then giving it a new scheme and a set of decals, they're actually telling you. So if you pick up one of these and it says Decal Schemes and Pack Design 2025, Model Design and Tooling 1967, you know you're in for a bit of fun. So there you go. But quite often with those older kits, it's all you can get. You know, it's, if you want a Bristol freighter, I think Airfix is the only one, isn't it? I don't know. I'm sure a load of you will comment now in your droves telling me I'm wrong. So we've got some information about the helicopter itself here. We've got three versions. We've got the Flying Training School in Shawbury. We've got the Westland Wessex HC.2 Armado Nacional del Uruguay Base Air and Naval number 2, Uruguay, year 2000. And then we've got Royal Air Force SEK Kong, SecCong, Hong Kong, 1978. So there we go. This is not a model starter set or a model set or anything, so it doesn't have any paints or glues, but they are telling you here what you need to get if you want to paint and stick it together. So it's managed to stick itself packed together. That's amazing. So there we are, and we're going to get the box open. Flimsy little cardboard lid, but better base. Absolutely adequate for a kit like this. The bags, you know, I always talk about packaging, and a lot of you like to knock Airfix's packaging. It is unfortunately all in one bag, which is unfortunate. It's great for the planet, but it's unfortunate for us. But the box is made to the sprue, or the sprue is made to the box, so you know it's not going to get damaged. So we should have no loose parts, no damaged parts or anything, even though everything is bagged together. So we've got the bottom of the box there. We've got our instructions here, which we'll have a look at first, as we usually do, and then folded up inside the instructions, thank you very much Airfix, we have a decal sheet. And we'll have a quick look at this. Boy oh boy, what a decal sheet it is. You can see we've got an instrument panel there, we've got lots and lots of stencils, and then we've got the three different versions there. You've got Uruguay, 28 Squadron, and then we've got number 2 Flight Training School. So very nice indeed. Looks like we've got the tips for the blades here and everything, so you might wish to paint those. Very, very nice indeed. And then there's the, this is the common for all of them. What, you don't have those RAF roundels on the Uruguay one, I don't think, will you? No. So they're not common. But anyway, I don't think you'll have Royal Air Force on the Uruguay one either. So, yeah, very nice, and they are cartograph. So even though it doesn't say normally on, yeah, it will say printed in Italy by Cartograph, it doesn't say that. So, but Airfix cartograph decals seem to be better than cartograph decals, if you know what I mean. They are bloody awesome. Anyway, so the structure book, nice big book as usual in black and red ink. A lot of people say black and white. It's not black and white because it's white paper. So going into here, we have information here about the actual helicopter itself in all our different languages. We've got specifications here. We've got general assembly instructions, a bit of health and safety in there as well. We've got our icons here. So this is telling us all about you know, what we should be looking out for in the instructions. Like for example, here we've got this triangle with like a grid in it, and that is a file, so it means remove by file. I'm just going to move the camera up a touch rather than turn it off. There we go, that's better. Okay, so just to get it all in, because I keep doing my videos lately, I keep chopping the top of the instructions off, so I'm trying to be more careful. Right, so going into the build, very, very thoughtful as usual. When you, I was green ink as well. When you see green, it generally means remove. Okay, in this case it means paint, so they're actually putting it in the colour that you're going to paint it. So they're telling us to drill a hole, that's going to be generic for all of them, and they're telling us to remove and cut off those sprue gates. That'll be the type of sprue gate or ejector tab that is actually on the surface, so you've got to file them off. Very much like the Artemis. You've got the, so that instead of having to file them off the outside, they're actually on the glued surface, which I really like. A lot of people don't, I don't know why, but I really do like them that way. So we're going to add the floor in here, telling us to paint it in 27. I think that's like an interior grey. And then we've got some seats going in. We've got a bulkhead going in there. Looks like it's only got the detail on the back side. And then here we've got the bulkhead going in for the back end. This is the back end of the fuselage now. Sorry, this is the back end of the fuselage. This is the front end. So there we go. So this is the bulkhead for the forward end. And then here we're going to remove that little nub in there, if you're going to make it with a folded tail. So you need to make your mind up now if you're having folded tail or extended tail. And then you're going to drill a hole, refer to step 71 on page 7. So I'm guessing this is going to be drilling a hole. I don't get this, they've got A, B and C. And they're all saying drill a 1 mil hole. So where's page 7? Step 71. Yes, that's very strange. They could have just said drill a hole. It's a 1 mil hole for that antenna or that antenna, but it's in the same position, is it not? Or is that one slightly further back? I'm not sure. We'll have a look when we see the parts. It does look there like that one's slightly further back, but there it looks like the arrows are pointing at the same place. There may be 2 holes there, I'm not sure. Anyway, file off those bits there, and then we've got this ducting going on. Bloody hell, this is 72nd scale, guys. It's got ducting in the fuselage. And then we've got the windows have gone in here, and then we've got the interior going into the fuselage half there. Then we're going to add this forward bulkhead. That's where the engine sits under there, or the engine sits up here, I'm not sure. And then we've got the instrument panel, the floor going in. And then we've got the center console, and then we've got this bulkhead here, which are going to have the seats on it. So the seats are going to sit on that bulkhead, and then that lot is all going to go into the... Bloody hell, this is amazing for 72nd scale. This detail in this cockpit is as good as the 35th scale ICM sky crane. You know, it's absolutely amazing. Because I think that kit really could do with some cockpit detail. I'm sure somebody's done a 3D cockpit for it by now. But anyway, this is the upper part, is the rotor head. You've got those braces going in there, and that's going to drop into the top. So that's the inside of the, so that will no doubt have detail on the back of it. Yes, it has. For the interior, my God. Then we've got these bits here we're going to remove. We've got a window going in here, bringing the fuselage halves together, adding this rear combing here, adding that cover there for the rotor head. And then we've got this nose piece going on. We've got a door with the window in. You could have the door open or closed, no doubt. Yes, you can. I'm not sure you can make it slide, but you might be able to put some magnets in there or something so you can move it around. Then we've got this nose piece going in here. Just a big nose that sticks out. Always reminds me of a catfish, that. And then you've got this grill going on. Have they made that out of a clear part? Which is what they did with the Stolly. I don't know. We'll have a look. Is a clear sprue. No, X is the clear sprue, so no, it's not a clear part. And then we've got the massive exhaust there which stick out the sides. So we've got those in half, so deal with those seams. Little advice for newer modelers, you might want to get those off the sprue and glue them together first, and then just put them back in the box, and then when it comes to you need them, the glue will be nice and hard. You can sand the seams and away you go. You don't have to wait for the glue to dry. And then we've got these runners going on the bottom here. Not sure what they are, if they're stiffeners or something, but they're there nonetheless. We've got a step going in, and there's a little piece there. So, okay, that's the opposite side. Duh. And then we've got this little piece going in here. Is that sort of a crane piece there or something. This is more of a winch there going on. This is a version A and B, and this is version C, so they have different winches. And then they have the tail going together here, adding the little tail plane. Got some bits and pieces going on the top. Again, we've got different versions with different parts. So you've got this piece here is different, and the light is different. And then we've got the little piece there going in for the tail. So you've got a piece there which is going in if you're having it straight out. If you're having it folded, you're going to fit this piece here. And remember, you've got to remove that little nubbin on the inside if you're going to have it folded. Folded. Undercarriage legs going together. So that looks very nice. Hopefully it'll be strong enough. It should be, because it's like a tricycle undercarriage sort of thing. 3 legs is what I mean. And then the wheels are going on. Looks like the wheels have got weight on them. They look beautiful. And then here we've got the main canopy itself. We've got an overhead console going in, and the instrument panel itself going in. That's all very nice. Be careful with your glue. This is to be great if a masking set came out for this, because there's a lot of little complex shapes in those windows. And then we've got the side windows going in. We've got some antenna going on. And there we are, there's a piece going in the bottom there. And then here we've got that antenna that I was talking about just now. And then here we've got the folded tail or the straight tail. And then we're going to put the rotor on. It looks like the rotor is common for all 3 versions, but it has different colours. And then we've got these little detail pieces here going on the rotor head. When building this model with the rotor blades folded, you can build it folded. Oh wow. Miss out steps 76 to 79 and go to 80, and go to step 80 on page 9. So we have the rotor head here with the rotors extended. So we're going to build the blades there and then add them. But if you're going to have it folded, you miss out that one, that one, that one, and that one, and you're going to go to this one here. So you're going to fit that same part. Nope, it's a different part. So you've got D15, make sure you get the right one. Then you've got the folded rotor head going together there, and then you're going to add the blades. Yes, we're going to add the blades here, sorry. So they're the same blades. F1. No, they're different blades. So you could possibly, I'm not too sure here. I'm wondering if you could, D16, D18, D16. That's unfortunate. D16 is used in both. I was thinking you may be able to build up a folded rotor head and a static rotor head, and then be able to swap between the two if you wanted to. But it looks like that's a common part there, so looks like you can't do it. We've also got that part there as common as well, so you can't do it. So there we go. Very, very nice indeed. And you've got this little brace going on the back here, which you don't need to glue into position. It can just sit there, and I believe that would be painted red. And that's it. It's finished. So our 3 versions here. So this is the Royal Air Force Shawbury, Shropshire. Easy for you to say. West Midlands, England, 1995. So that's the training school version. It's got the red nose and the red band. And then here we've got the Uruguay version, year 2000. I'm not sure if this is a training one. Armada National. So there we've got the red bands and the red nose as well. And then here we've got the in-service version, 1978. Air Force Setcom, I've never heard of that. Hong Kong, 1978. So, and there we've got the different coloured blades, we've got the different coloured tips. There's a lot of differences in version C. I noticed in the instructions there's a lot of little differences. So that might be the one you want to go for if you want that basic sort of RAF look. And if you want to go weathering and stuff, that's the one to go for, because I'm sure the other ones wouldn't be very weathered. So we'll get our decals and we'll put them back in the instruction manual, and we will put our instruction manual back in the box, and we will have a look at some plastic parts. So here we go. Blade needs replacing or honing or whatever. So take all the sprues out together. Don't ever try and take one sprue out of a bag, because that's when you'll catch and break things. We've got our clear sprue there. So there's our bag. That can go back in the box. We'll put the sprues over here. We'll have a quick look at our clear sprue. See what that's like. I don't think I cut it below the... Yes, I did. So let's get the light on. I'll see what these parts are like. There's 2 words to describe these parts. Bloody gorgeous. Very, very nice indeed. You can see I've got like a burn on my finger there, so you can see through there. That burn on my finger. There's no real distortion going on. Very, very nice indeed. Same with the side windows there. So any cockpit detail, any seat harnesses you want to add or anything, which I really would consider, they're going to be visible. So they're going to look very nice. So that's the clear parts. Very nice indeed. So I'm just going to go through these as they come. This is the B sprue. So you can see it's sized to fit the box. We've got a full frame. It's not just a loose tree. And this is the Airfix needs to go with everything. I noticed on their starter sets they have these trees where the parts are on and they all come off and get broken and everything. Whereas with these frames, this is the way to go. So very nice indeed, and some of the most impressive surface detail I've ever seen on a 72nd scale kit. This is absolutely gorgeous. Just have a look here on this tail. You can see that surface detail is absolutely beautiful. It's so thin, this little extension here, you can almost see through it. And then we've got the webbing. We've also got the creasing on the seats. And the creasing, I would have £100. No, I wouldn't have £100 actually, because I could be wrong. But I would have a bet that this is Pranjit, because if you look at that seating, they're not all the same. I think there's 3 different patterns there, which is really nice. Sometimes you always get the seat patterns being exactly the same. I recently reviewed that Andy's Hobby Headquarters half track, and it's got these lovely textured seats, but the texture is exactly the same on all the seats. So when they're next to each other, it sticks out like a sore thumb, particularly if you weather them to bring the texture out. But these are all, you can see they're different. So there you go. I think there's 3 different, I think they're in sets of 3, aren't they? If you look at the left, and then the left of the middle 3, and then the left of the 3 on the right, you've got the same sort of pattern on them, but very nice. We've got that rear bulkhead there with the door. You can see on there the surface detail is amazing. This is the forward bulkhead, fire extinguishers and all sorts on there, some seats, an individual seat. There's our floor panel, and there's the other part of the floor panel there. That's the ceiling for the cabin area. You can see it's got that quilted look to it. And then we've got the belly here, and the surface detail on there is gorgeous, and the floor with all the tie downs and everything. Beautiful. For what I've seen so far, I'm going to say it like I've said time and time again lately with Airfix. Well, not so much lately, but a few months ago, you know, if you put this in a Tamiya box, I believe it was Tamiya. Beautiful rear combing there with the vents on. You can see the vents on there, the ribbing. There's our side door. We've got interior detail with no ejector pin marks. There's our cover. It's going to go over the rotor head. There's a little tail plane there that's going to hold the folded rotors. And then we've got these little detailed bits, this ducting. I'm not sure if that was for the underneath or the inside now. And then we've got the little spacer there for the tail end, and this is the folded tail end. So there's your detail you'll see with the tail open. There's your rotor head there for the folded, I think. And then we got, okay, I thought they'd given us 2 of them, but they haven't. So you've got these ones for the folded, ones for the unfolded. Same here, and then you've got common parts as well. But you can see these little supports here for the rotor head. There's our overhead console for the inside. 72nd scale fans are going to love this. One-piece tail rotor, which is nice to see. Tail rotor, should I say, not rotor. Okay, so this is frame F. So here's our blades. So these are the folded. I thought I had a missing blade then. It's just come off, it's loose, that's all. So these are folded, and these are the extended. We can see on there the detail is absolutely beautiful. That fine ribbing on there, that's raised. Really, really nice. And you can see that with these, they've got part of the rack that holds them is actually moulded onto the blade. There's no sink marks, there's no flash, nothing. So So here we have frame C. Sorry, frame C. So we've got wheels here. They've got weight on the wheels. There's our exhausts. There's that ducting that goes underneath the fuselage. There's our seats. Crying out for harnesses because they're going to be really visible. Instrument panel there. There's an instrument panel. So you've got a flat one there for a decal. And there's one there if you want to paint it, or if you can't want to, you can put the decal on that one and get some setting solution and pull it down. Got some center console parts there. That piece that I saw just now that I said was the center of the overhead console, I don't think it was. It must have been something else, because it looks like that's the overhead console there, or that one there, should I say, that one there. But yeah, the wheels, you've got those brake detail on those wheels, and the actual wheel design itself is beautiful. There's no tyre lettering on there, but it's 72nd scale, guys. Okay, so here we've got frame E, and this is all our little bits and pieces and greeblies. Unfortunately, we've got that piece there is broken, but that's no problem. That'll just glue back together. This is the result of putting everything in one bag. I wish they'd stop doing it. So we've got control levers there, and then we've got the cyclic and epicyclic, whatever they're called, I don't know. Yeah, very nice. The antenna there for the back. There's one version and there's the other two versions. And then finally, we've got this sprue here, which is A. And I'm just going to look at, firstly I'm going to look at here. If you remember, it told us to drill holes. Yeah, okay, there are two holes. There's two different positions. So one is further back than the other, so make sure you get the right one drilled. It was just the drawing made it look like it was like a raised circular area to drill. There's that front grille, there's the rotor head, there's the belly there. There's the big nose, the big bulbous nose. You can see on here the detail on the actual fuselage itself is stunning. It's beautiful. You've got recessed rivets right there. It's all recessed panel lines. You've got raised hinges or latches, whatever that is. So there's lots and lots of raised and recessed detail going on. You've got to remove these little ribs here for some reason. So obviously there's going to be other variants coming. But yeah, beautiful. It's nice to do this actually, because a lot of the kits I review are sort of quite expensive, and this is more within reach of the everyday modeler sort of thing, and not going to get your wife wanting to divorce you. But what a lovely little kit, and well worth every penny in my opinion. It is a beautiful little model. So yeah, great little purchase. I think it was 27 quid. No doubt you'll get it cheaper than that elsewhere, around other places. But it certainly fills the box out nicely. So there we are. Westland Wessex HC.2. No doubt I will do a build of this because it looks very, very nice. So yeah, keep your eyes posted. Keep your eyes peeled. You may well see a build of this coming your way. I'm sure there's 100 people on YouTube doing it at the moment. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.